Hello, everyone. Welcome to PhD Chats. You clicked on the link when you didn't have to, and for that, I am eternally grateful. I am so excited today because we are going to talk about parenting. I wonder if you've ever asked yourself the question, what kind of parenting style do I practice? Let's get into it. So, there are four major parenting styles. As we go through the conversations about parenting, I will share some stories because I have heard from and spoken to people who have been in each of these parenting situations. I'll also share my own parenting style. I'm the mother of a teenager, and how I believe I was parented, and how you parent is really a conglomerate of all of your experiences. So we will dig into that. This is just a quick self evaluation in case you have not ever assessed your parenting styles and practice. Do you think one of these parenting styles kind of fits you, or do you think you're a combination of parenting styles? So, the four main parenting styles are permissive parents, then there are authoritative parents, there are authoritarian parents, and then there are neglectful parents. So let's talk about permissive parenting. As the name suggests, permissive parenting kind of allows children to make decisions on their own. It permits the majority of behaviors that children are going to display in the home or outside, or things that children want to do. A permissive parent is going to say, yes, go for it. And permissive parents make the parenting child centered. It's all about the child, it's all about the child's needs. And sometimes it's not about what is best for the child. Permissive parents say yes more than they say no. They do not have clear expectation or boundaries for their children. They rarely create rules or systems in their home. Permissive parenting overindulges the child to avoid conflict. So, yes, permissive parents interpret their child's happiness as love. They interpret their child's frustration or dissatisfaction as disliking them or as hating them. And they are fearful of creating an environment where their child is displeased. And so they give, they allow, they say yes. And permissive parents will also say things like, I'll let them, learn their lessons on their own. Sometimes they have to go through it in order to figure it out. Because when you say things like that, it really releases you from being the goal setter. It releases you from being the boundary maker, from having to create and craft rules for your child. If you tell them they'll learn as they grow, trust me, when you go through it, you learn. I let them figure things out on their own. It is very permissive, very lax. It is very low on expectation and demandingness, but it is very high on affection and attention and gift giving. So, the next parenting style is the authoritative parent, and that's actually the gold standard. I think parenting is a spectrum, and I think as you parent, there are going to be moments where you're leaning toward being a little bit permissive in some situations, a little bit authoritative in some situations. Let's see what my notes are saying an authoritative parent is. So, an authoritative parent solves problems together with the child. They set clear rules and expectations, and an authoritative parent has open communication and natural consequences. So, an authoritative parent is very balanced. There is consequences, but it's blended and balanced with incentive and motivation. Children clearly understand the behavior that's expected from them. They're able to voice their opinion, make suggestions in their own upbringing. They have a voice, but the parent is the ultimate authority, and there is a sense of fairness that's blended with love and responsibility and rules. And that is how the authoritative parent is defined. Let's discuss the uninvolved or neglectful parent. And again, we might all be uninvolved or neglectful at different times. But when we use this word, we're going to be discussing the type of behaviors you practice as a parent that dominate your parenting interactions with your child. The neglectful parent is a parent that is uninvolved or absent. I put absent in quotation marks because there is another parenting style for the absent parent, right? So the uninvolved parent can be a parent that is present, meaning they're physically in the home, but their presence in the home is unimpactful because they're not really involved in the day-to-day experiences of their child. So they provide little nurturing or guidance. They are indifferent to the child's social emotional needs and their behavioral needs. They set little boundaries. They're kind of unaffected by whether this child is succeeding or struggling. And that can be a parent that's in the home or a parent that's outside of the home. So that's why I wanted to not use the word absent, because the other end of the spectrum is that some absent parents are very involved, meaning they're absent from the home. They may be in a co parenting system and they're very involved in their child's upbringing. So the neglectful parent is a parent that can be in the home or outside of the home and they're just disconnected. They lack knowledge about their child's everyday life, their child's likes, dislikes, their friends, their teachers, their medical providers. They don't know what makes their child tick. They may not know their child's favorite color or favorite food. They're there, but they're not there. They're not mean or unkind. They're just disconnected. So that's the neglectful parenting style. And then let's talk about the authoritarian parent. Now, this is a parent driven style, right? It's the opposite of permissive parenting. This is about the parent. The authoritative parent sets strict rules and punishment. There's a lot of boundaries and immediate consequences. There is a lot of one-way communication. So the child's thinking and opinion does not come into play. You do as I say. They have little consideration for the child's social, emotional, and behavioral needs. So even though this appears to be a very involved parent who is there and set rules and is strict, and they're communicating with the child a lot, it's not really a dialogue, it's a monologue. And this type of parent is very invested in their children doing what they say, but they're less concerned about if the child is feeling justice or fairness in their interactions with the child. What type of parent do you think you are most of the time? Have you figured it out? What type of parent you think you are? I'm so excited that we had this conversation, and I'm looking forward to your comments and questions in the feedback so that I will use that information to inform what we discuss in part 2. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your views, your comments, your likes, and I look forward until we meet again to have another amazing conversation. Take care. Bye.